Hi, this is Mark Wallstrom, your host here at the Settlement Channel, a featured broadcast on the Legal Broadcast Network. Well, this week we have a little piece we're going to do on the shocking news, and I say that facetiously, out of the Putnam Investments Retirement Summit, that they came to the conclusion that most Americans are not saving enough for retirement, and those that do have savings have had them decimated in the last 2 years due to bad investment decisions and bad investment results. Well, that's not exactly news for anybody who has a 401k, an IRA, or has been laid off or struggling with a job and has depleted their savings in order to make ends meet. If you're a trial lawyer, you borrowed against your savings and your retirement many times to finance cases because legal financing has dried up. Retirement savings for this generation has never been in worse shape. And the interesting, if it wasn't so tragic, it'd be amusing, thing that came out of this conference was that the asset managers and the mutual fund managers are now starting to get on the annuity bandwagon, and to the point where they're saying that absolute return products, that's another word for an annuity, should be part of every single retirement portfolio as an option going out. In other words, they've realized that the vast majority of people who manage an IRA or have a 401k, they don't get very good advice typically while it's accumulating. And then when it comes time to pay it out, many of them just take a lump sum and try to manage the funds themselves, or with the help of an investment advisor or a registered rep or a financial planner, manage it and project out their income. Well, as we pointed out in prior posts, most people have unrealistically high expectations of what they're actually going to earn on their funds. They don't take into account fees. Many times they don't take into account the impact of taxation. Very often they ignore the impact and effect of inflation. So that these people who assume that they're going to get 10, 11, 12%, or even 8% on their funds guaranteed over a period of years end up being badly off target and suffering and depleting their funds early as a result of it. Well, from those of us who do structured settlement work, none of this is a surprise. We've recognized for years the value of annuities, the value of the guarantees, the ability to buy income that you can not outlive, it pays for as long as you live, that can have inflation factors adjusted into it, that has totally income tax-free payments, and is paid to you on a net basis with no ongoing fees or management charges or commissions taken out of the contract. It's a tremendous product, and now the mutual fund managers, after the devastation of the last 10 years really, where stock markets have had a negative return over the last 10 years, and the impact that that's had on people's savings and retirement, have come around to the idea that annuities at retirement are probably the best option for the vast majority of Americans. The thing that I thought was really interesting is they were talking to somebody from the UCLA Anderson School on behavioral decision making. And they made the conclusion that most people who take an annuity do so because the stock market or the real estate market collapsed in the 6 months prior to their decision process. But if the stock market or the real estate market was up, they decided to take a lump sum. In other words, they have a myopic or very short-term way of looking at markets that get to be twisted and distorted and unrealistic. My point is, one of the best options that's out there is the annuity. It's simple, it's powerful, it has so many benefits for the average citizen, for the average person, who doesn't need to maximize every dollar out of their account. They simply need to get those dollars every single month. They need to know that the money's there and guaranteed and ensured that they don't outlive. This is an enormous public policy issue. I expect that we'll probably even hear it mentioned or talked about in tonight's State of the Union address by President Obama. But what we're going to talk about next week here on the Settlement Channel is the use of structured legal fees to rebuild and restore pension benefits and retirement plans for trial lawyers. It is the single most ignored option and overlooked benefit that trial lawyers have. The vast majority of structured settlement professionals don't know how to utilize it and leverage traditional guaranteed and insurance products. But again, I'm just happy that the good people of the mutual fund industry and many of the investment managers have finally looked at what their investors are actually doing with their money, the poor decisions that are made, the poor market timing decisions that are made, and the depletion of their assets as they enter into their retirement years, and that the public policy dangers of this are tremendous. If you're a structured settlement producer, or you're a structured settlement broker or a settlement planner, be proud of your product. Understand it, sell it. It compares exceptionally well, and it's very encouraging that in the last month to 2 months, we're starting to see a lot coming out in the popular press and the business press supporting what we've known for the last 25 years. Structured settlements, they're your best deal in 95% of the cases. I truly believe that. This is Mark Wallstrom. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to Speaking of Settlements every week. Join me again here next week on the Legal Broadcast Network.